Hello and welcome back. What I'd like to do now is invite you on an interesting journey to, well, you may have heard of the term before, and I'm not sure who coined it, but there's lies, damn lies, and statistics. Allegedly it was said Disraeli said it. I don't know. Now, the government, as you know, and what I call the bias propaganda BBC, are constantly bombarding us with lies, deceit, misinformation. And they're obviously directing the unconscious citizens to kind of focus on the deaths or, I don't know, the RT-PCR tests count being high and so on. And you and I know that when you go down and do your own due diligence, it's not important. I mean, the RT-PCR test is over 40 years old, created by Carrie Mollis, who died unfortunately in August 2019. He'd be turning in his grave. He really would be if he knew it was used for medical diagnosis. It was never created for medical diagnosis. And of course, initially they focused on the deaths when the deaths are high, because between December and, say, April, generally that's when respiratory viruses would take people out. But Mother Nature only takes out the weak players. Of course, the government could focus on us taking the vitamin D and the C and the zinc and the selenium and so on, but no, it's all about making money off the vaccines. Now, according to the Centre for Disease Control over in the USA, the survival rate between the age of 0 to 19 of COVID, of SARS-CoV-2, is 99.997%. So why will the children stop going to school? Really? And if you're aged between 20 and 49, it's 99.98%. Almost my bracket. I mean, the next one. Between 50 and 69, 99.5%. And if you're 70 plus, 94.6% survival rate. Or if you flip the other way, we'll look at the infection fatality rate. And it ranges between 0.1% and 0.5%. Why are we having this conversation? Silliness. To even contemplate taking an experimental jab, it's not a vaccine, drug, to prevent, so that you are in phase 3 trials. And it just begs belief how unconscious people are. But the reason that they are is because they're so tuned into the media. Please, legally stop paying your BBC licence. We stopped back in March in 2020. Just saddens me when I see people acquiescing to poor science. Wearing a face mask. I mean, if you look at the size of a SARS-CoV-2 or a coronavirus, it's 0.125 of a micron. An N95 worn properly is 0.3 to 0.8. So it doesn't even stop that. And people don't even wear them properly. And they don't wear N95s anyway. I have seen a few other people wear these like gas masks. But really, over 95% of our body is composed of parasites, fungi, bacteria, wait for it, drum roll, viruses. We are them, they are us. So why have we got this war going on? Silliness. What is the war? Antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, antibiotics. Maybe a place for them. Short term, but then it's going to upset the microbiome. So you can see where this is going, because once the light shines away from the COVID deaths or whatever, and then shines on people dying because they've disrupted their microbiome, oh dear. Well, watch the people walking into the shops and the first thing they do is they use the antibacterial stuff. So the invite really is for people to wake up and take radical responsibility for their well-being. This is self-healing, self-correcting. If you do not put in the right menu, and I'm not just talking foods, although that's a vital part, then Houston, we have a problem. You will be taken out. The physical body will never lie to you. If it did, you would die. It's constantly telling you to go left or right, forward, backwards, and so on. I'm using those as simple terms, but you understand what I'm saying. It won't lie to you. A headache wasn't caused by the absence of an aspirin. So what was the etiology? What was the root cause? You need to drink some water. You need to get to bed on time. Maybe you're magnesium deficient. The point I'm trying to make here is that if you choose to enter phase 3 trials, maybe you weren't given informed consent, but you've got the information now, then you are part of the experiment. And also, I don't mind sharing this with you. Anyone who has fallen in line and done exactly what the government or the BBC has told them has basically created the genocide that we've got. Think about the number of people committing suicides with depression, cancers that can't make their operations, domestic abuse going through the roof. And we are allowing this to happen, no matter what's said by the BBC or the Guardian newspaper, all paid for by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So please, people, wake up. Take radical responsibility for your physical body. Here's an invite. Get to know your local farmers now or pay your doctors more later. Yeah. Eat seasonal, local, organic if you can. Put in what the microbiome and the far more bacteria than there are human cells and what the human cells want into here. It's not about the calories, it's the information in the calories, the vitamins, the minerals, the enzymes, the cofactors, the phytonutrients, the stuff we don't even know about that literally feeds the microbiome on our human cells. But how many people, when they eat something, are thinking, is this feeding my microbiota? Never even thought of it. It's because you don't learn it at school. You're learning it now. Remember, with an increase in knowledge comes an increase in responsibility. You've got to be able to respond differently. Choice is yours. Over to you. Namaste.